right, this is Jeff with Shout Out Minnesota, and we are here with
Max from Yumi at 6, and I play guitar.
Max. Welcome to Minnesota.
How you doing?
Pretty lively crowd tonight.
Yeah, as the English call it, at the garage, or as the Americans call it, the garage. It was a sweaty show. It was nice to be back in Minnesota again. We haven't been here since, I think, 2012 now, since Warped, so it's nice for us to be back here. And, you know, to us play small venues here again, it's great. It's nice to be in intimate crowds. We're used to playing big shows at home to like 50, 60,000 people, festivals and arena headline shows. So for us tonight it's getting back down to the roots of where we started off as a band, you know. So we're thoroughly enjoying ourselves right now.
How do you like the smaller venues compared to bigger?
I like it because they're a lot more intimate with the smaller venues. You can see your fans face to face. You can see what everybody's feeling, and it makes it more of an intimate vibe. You can bring people together there, and like for us, especially, like there's one song in our set that we just want people to put down their mobile phones and just live in the real life. There's a lot of things that we've noticed, realising these days that it turned from the 70s going peace to the 80s fist pump into the 90s rock to the 2000s fist pump into late 2000s phones and now iPads and all that. So our show's all about enjoying yourself and living in the moment and not being caught back in behind your phone and I'm living this through my phone. It's how I went to gigs and how everybody else in the band went to gigs, was going there, enjoying the show with your friends, having a great time and walking away going, what an experience that was, instead of just sitting there behind your phone, because you miss out on a lot of things with that. You're looking at your phone, you're not watching what's going on, and people spend money to spend at a gig, you know, and you should come down and have a good time and enjoy it instead of living for a phone, you know. That's how I look at it. I'm just a bit of I'm not one of those people, you know. I'm probably a little bit traditionalist. It sounds rude when I say it like that, but I really do think the culture of music's being lost behind cameras and phones. Like, it's great when we're doing interviews like this and hanging out and being cool and chatting away because people get to watch it, but then when you come to a show of ours, it's like, don't sit there 24/7 with your phone up. Sit there and enjoy the show. You spent good money on being here. Go and have a good time.
Well, you know what I noticed too is when people do that with their phones and stuff like that, they're jumping around, they're hopping around. I mean, I don't know how they can even watch it anyway because it's so shaky.
It's going to be blurry. It's going to be, just put the phone away. Do a thing. This is called a pocket. Put it in your pocket.
There you go. There you go. One thing that really stood out for you tonight.
The consequence. It was nice to see when Josh told everyone in the room, get down on the floor, just listen to me right now. That felt like when we had the room in control. And that's part of why I love playing music, is when you have that feeling, you have a connection with a crowd, and we feed off crowds. And we want our live show to be the best it can be, but if you're going twice as nuts as we are, we have to take it to the quad step, you know. We have to go to the next level, and we feed off people, you know. And tonight was that kind of show, you know. We fed off people, we enjoyed it.
Okay, let's talk about latest music. What you guys have out now?
We've released our 4th album, Cavalier Youth, on Prospect Park Records. It's our 4th album, as I said. We recorded with Neil Avron, and I think our band's starting to find our sound. I think we're not a massive band over here, but we're getting introduced over here, but we've been a band for 10 years now, and it's nice not being rushed and everybody jumping on the bandwagon at once, because it feels like it's the right time and place for our band.
Yeah,
we're working our way. We've not done this for a year. We don't want to be here and gone the next minute. We're a band that wants to have longevity. We want to have careers like artists like Muse and Foo Fighters and Arctic Monkeys, you know, bands that live on, and I think they will have a name in their time, you know, and for us that's our goal, you know, and inspire people to play music as well, because those bands were the people who inspired me to play guitar. And it's about passing down to generations what, for me, and this is my personal opinion, is playing good music and being real and being who you are. Play it to people, inspire people, creative things, and that's an important thing in this life. And if you can't enjoy what you do, then get on something else.
Our local radio station here is 93X. You guys did a performance today. How did that go?
It's fantastic. It was great to be there at the X radio station, you know, and it was just nice to play acoustic stuff. We have two sides of our bands. We can be a rowdy rock band on stage, but then we can almost do the stripped back unplugged version, and we can play our songs differently and acoustically that people get to be in. And as I said, like before, it's an intimate environment, but it's more relaxed. It's chilled out, and you sit there and listen to music, you know. And for us, it's just being passionate about what you do, and I think that's what we try and show to everybody in this world, that when, as I said before, we're not a one-trick pony. We're here to show people that we like playing music, and we've got songs that can cross over to fans. And you know, I think so far we've got a lot of radio play recently on our latest single, Room to Breathe, and I think more people are coming to our band now, and I think we're going to show people what we're all about.
Yeah, and it's been huge. The song has been played everywhere. So where do you guys go from here? Where's the tour taking next?
We've got Chicago tomorrow, then we work up to Canada, and then around to New York, Philadelphia, Boston, Milwaukee's. I think we finish in Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Yeah.
All right. Great. Well, thank you for your time.
No worries.
Appreciate it. One last shout out to the fans of Minnesota before we go.
Thank you very much for coming down to the show tonight. If you didn't come next time because it won't be too long.
Thanks. This is Jeff with Shout Out Minnesota, and we are here with...
I'm Dan, I play in a band called Yumi 6, I play drums. Played the garage tonight, or garage as you guys call it, I think. Minneapolis, very fun show. One of the more fun shows of the tour actually, to be fair, so yeah, good night.
Yeah, we talked to Max and everything, and he gave us his perspective on things, and I wanted to get your perspective on how the show went tonight.
I thought it was really fun. I thought I can't remember playing in Minneapolis too many times, and I think this is the first time we've headlined here, and I'm surprised at how many people actually came to the show. You know, we're a band from the UK who is relatively new in the US, you know, so we'll take any great show we can. And yeah, it was a fun venue. We played football in there earlier, and it's a fun place to come to, and yeah, the crowd sort of mirrored that as well. They were great.
Yeah, the fans were fantastic tonight. They were singing along, they were hopping, they were jumping, and they definitely thoroughly enjoyed the show. From your perspective on stage, how did you take it all in as far as the fans go?
For me, obviously, like playing drums is sort of the backbone of the band. You know, you need to keep time. You need to start songs, finish songs. You need to make sure that everyone is sort of locking in with each other and everything's going well. So you don't have a lot of time, especially because you're at the back of the show as well. Obviously, you don't have a lot of time to appreciate what the crowd does sometimes.
Right.
There's only ever really sort of 3, 4, maybe sometimes max 5 moments in the set where I get to really sort of look out and appreciate what the crowd's doing. But when I did tonight, it was going off, and they looked like they're having a lot of fun. So that always makes my show a hell of a lot better as well.
There you go. The single "Room to Breathe" is really taken off here in the U.S. It's played on Octane, obviously, and 93X, which you guys were at today. Tell us your experience with that.
Well, you know, this might be our 4th record to come out from this band, but this is the first time that we've had a record that's been pushed at all by a label in the States. So this is the first time that anyone's actually tried to put us on the radio. And our debut radio single is, you know, I think it's in the top 5 of the active rock charts. It's top 50 of the alternative charts. You know, it's breaking into 2 different sort of formats over here, radio-wise, and obviously we're getting a lot of love from the nationwide digital stations. Cumulus was obviously, we were there today, 93X, everything like that. You know, all the cool stations seem to be picking up on it, which is really exciting for us. It's sort of how everything kicked off for us in the UK. So it's fun to see that happen again.
So how do the fans, are they different or very much the same as far as UK and US go?
I think fans in the US are sort of just catching on to our band. You know, they're might have heard a few songs, they might have heard a few of the singles, but they haven't heard, every single song that we put out. Whereas, the UK, we're sort of 10 years deep into a career now where we're headlining arenas. We're playing the O2. We're playing third from top of Reading and Leeds and playing to sort of 50, 60 odd thousand people, whereas in the States we're playing to a few hundred people a night, for anywhere between 2 and sort of 1,000 people. It's taking us back to when things started to kick off for us in the UK, and now we're seeing some love at radio. We're just excited to see how far we can take it, really. It's always, our band's always been something that it's almost like a challenge. You set yourself milestones and you meet them, and then you get to the next one, the next one, the next one.
So do you prefer the bigger venues or the smaller venues?
They're just different, really. There's no preferring to either one. Obviously, no one's going to go out there and say that they wouldn't rather play in a massive stadium arena compared to playing to 200 people. No one would obviously wish that. That's retarded. But at the same time, each show, we've had some terrible shows in arenas, and we've had some terrible shows in small clubs, and we've had some amazing arena shows and some amazing club shows. So it all depends on the crowd that are there that night, and how shit goes off, and how much I'm enjoying playing with the other guys. Some days we lock in, some days we might not be quite so tight. So many different factors that change how well a set can go. It's not just it's not just chalk and cheese between the size of the venue and how good the show is.
Well, the tour is basically getting started in the US, and you got a lot of dates ahead of you, a lot of shows. How do you prepare for a long tour?
Just before we go away, I hang out with my friends as much as possible, hang out with my family as much as possible. And then that's what we love to do, so there's not much preparing that goes on. We have some rehearsals, and then we just get into the groove of playing shows, and the more that you sort of do it for the weeks and weeks to get into it, the more it just becomes like a routine thing that you do. Okay, it's show time, I've played these songs hundreds of times before, let's go out there, let's enjoy ourselves, let's have some fun. That's when you start to be able to relax and enjoy what the crowd does, because the set inside out is fine, you know what you're doing, so that's when you can see, okay, how's the crowd treating tonight? What's going on out there? Is anyone crowd surfing and doing anything crazy? To enjoy what other people are doing.
Well, I thank you for your time. One thing I want to ask is, how do the fans get a hold of you guys, social media wise?
Social media wise, our band Twitter is Yumi6. It's literally at Yumi6. The Instagram is Yumi6official, and then my Instagram is Welcome to Flint Town, and my Twitter is DanMe6. Along with a lot of the other guys, it's Josh Me6 and Max Me6, at Me6 and that kind of stuff. So we're easy to get hold of.
Okay, well, thank you for your time. One last shout out to the fans of Minnesota before we go.
Thank you very much for an amazing show, Minnesota.
Jump,